Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Dredd. Today we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers, one of my favorite NHL teams. In particular, I'd like to talk about the fact that I'm seeing a lot of articles right now. People are panicking, people are upset, people are referencing the decade of darkness, that long period of time with no playoffs to speak of, no hope for the team at all, no superstars, no, just a constant change of coaches and GMs and players, and just not good enough players, not good enough drafting, all that stuff. People are upset right now. Okay, let's start out and talk about this. The Edmonton Oilers started out this NHL season doing good as far as their wins went. They did very well. Racked up a whole lot of wins. They were one of the top teams in the league. Now they've gone and they've lost five, probably going on six maybe in a row, and people have panicked. The goal scoring has dried up. The penalty kill is not as good. The power play is not as good. People are upset. There's a lot of articles coming out. People writing about sports. People saying this is what is wrong with the Oilers. This is what the Oilers should do. The Oilers should fire their GM. The Oilers should fire their coach. The Oilers should trade for this player or that player. The Oilers should do this. The Oilers should do that. 99.9% of them are just wrong. They're wrong. Listen, come in close, listen to Dredd. Dredd's talking sports now. Dredd's talking the Oilers. Dredd's talking the NHL. Dredd knows a little bit about the NHL and the Oilers, okay? When it comes to the Oilers right now, they are slumping. It's probably the best thing that could happen to the team right now. Because they got us such a hot start, and their hot start was mainly due to above average goaltending. They had above average. The goaltending wasn't great, but it was above average at the time for the most part. Um, they were getting great specialty teams, great penalty killing, an extremely great power play, and unheard of results on that thing. The percentage was out of this world. No one had ever seen that kind of thing before. And they had the two superstars, McDavid and Draisaitl. That is what happened. They took the league by storm, and eventually, players and they cooled down a little bit. It happens. Sometimes it'll happen for different teams at different times of the year, but it'll happen to a certain degree to all teams, to all players. They were never going to keep that hot. That's fine. That's fine that they've come back down to earth. They plummeted though, and they plummeted pretty badly. Some games, the coaches are coming out there. Coaches, I have to say now, since Coach Tippett is in COVID related away from the team thing here right now. Got some of the assistant coaches now taking over. They're all preaching the same kind of story, hey, we're gonna be okay. This is fine. We're going, we're coming out of this. We played a really good game over here in Boston. It was a great game. We couldn't put any by the goalie, and they put some by our goalie and they won. Lean in again. Dredd calls bullshit. Dredd calls bullshit. That's the coaches not dumping publicly on the team. Probably something most of the time coaches shouldn't do is dump publicly on the team. Every once in a while, you might need to, but for the most part, you rally with your team out in the open. Behind closed doors, if you need to kick ass and take names, you do it. But, you don't spread that around, because you call out the players that aren't playing well enough in front of the team and say, you guys are letting the team down. You got to be better. That's one thing. To call them out publicly now affects their entire life. And that's not right. So, okay. So the coaches are doing the expected thing. People are getting a little bamboozled. Some people are getting bamboozled by this. They're like, yeah, they played a great game over here. They played a great game over there. Oh, they should have won 2, 3, 4 of these, 5, 6, whatever losses. They're missing the point of the NHL season. The NHL season, for any team that wants to be a contender, okay, it's different if you're a bottom feeding team who is looking to tank and just pick up draft picks and continue to develop young players. That's different. If you are a team that wants to be a contender, two things are happening. There's two reasons for the NHL season. Okay. One is to make the playoffs so you have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Okay. That's one reason. That requires wins, right? That requires you winning games enough to get into the playoffs. That's one part of the season. The other part of the season, if you want to be contender, is this. You have to play the game the way you would win in the playoffs. Okay? If you play a loosey-goosey game, if you play a skill game, if you play a we're going to rely on our special teams game, you can do that in the regular season and get away with it a lot. Can't in the playoffs. You cannot get away with that in the playoffs. That's not playoff hockey. For the Oilers, this slump is the best thing if the coaches and the GM come out and tell the players, now is the time. You said it before, you were to learn to play playoff hockey. You haven't done it this year. You have not done it. Playing this way, as you see, won't even guarantee you wins in the regular season. In the playoffs, you'll get swept again and you'll be out. You'll be out on your arses. Are the GM and coaches going to do that? I don't know. So here's my thing. If I'm in charge of the Oilers, I'm going in there and I'm saying, hey, I'm glad you got wins early in the season, and I'm sorry you're not getting wins right now. However, get your head out of your arses, look at me and listen. Now is the time to actually do what you said you were going to do last year and the year before, which was come back next season and learn how to play playoff hockey. Surprise, kids. Surprise. Playoff hockey is not playing one way in the regular season and flicking a switch in the playoffs and suddenly learning how to play another system. You want to win in the playoffs, you've got to play the regular season games like they're a playoff game. So I'm going in as a coach and I'm telling them, for McDavid and Draisaitl, right down to, I don't know who, Chris Russell. Oh, you guys, from top to bottom. Sorry, Chris, I don't mean to put you at the bottom. I'm just saying. Chris Russell's, anyways, he's a fine gentleman, I'm sure. The point is, I'm telling everybody, if you're a skater on the ice, it doesn't apply to the goaltenders as much. If you're a skater on the ice, this is the way we are going to play the game. We are going to check hard at both ends of the ice. That means we are going to dump the puck in and go after it. Dump and chase hockey. We are learning as a team how to play dump and chase hockey effectively. Because they need to start doing this now, and if they get to the end of the season and we've learned they can't play that way, then players need to change. You bring in players who can play that way. Because it's possible sometimes you have players who just can't do it or won't do it. Okay, so I'm telling them, dump the puck in, go in, get some hits, win the board battles. Next thing, shots on net, preferably down by the goalie's pads with traffic. Everybody rush the net, get that rebound. That's the second thing I'm telling them. Third thing is I'm telling them, back check like a mutter futter. Okay, I did say mutter futter, yes. Back check like Elmer Fudd is lighting a firecracker in your rear pocket. You don't come off the ice at the end of your shift so completely exhausted that you're falling over the boards and into the bench. You didn't do your effing job. Last thing I'm telling my players is this applies to everybody on the team. Your name is McDavid or Draisaitl. I know you've got skill. I will see that skill go to work. I want to see you lead the way in showing these guys how to play playoff hockey. You guys have to learn how to do it too, because in the playoffs, you can't continue to play the way you've been playing either. I am going to tell them specifically when you guys have the puck and you're going in on offense, 75% of the time, you're dumping it in. And you're going back, retrieving it with some hits, doing the board work, putting the puck low on the pads and crashing the net. That's what you're doing. The other 25% of the time, you can make the pretty play as long as you're back checking like a mutterfutter again and making sure you're not turning it over. So you want to score some goals in the rush, you still have an opportunity to do that. But you're going to be the leaders of this team. You're actually going to lead this team into playing playoff hockey. There's no way any team is going to play the way the Oilers have this season, possibly make the playoffs, and suddenly go, we're going to play a completely different style now, one we've never played before, and we're going to be successful at it. So when you see all these Oilers bloggers and writers and everybody else, interviewers, radio announcers, TV personalities, all these people talking about what's wrong with the Oilers, how they fix the Oilers, what isn't wrong with the Oilers, how the Oilers are fine, how the Oilers are shite, tune them all out. Listen to the Dredd man. Okay, I do know what I'm talking about, and I'm removed from the Oilers. I'm enough removed. I'm not sitting in the same city as them. I'm not a rabid fan in that sense. I'm not blinded by things. The roster has holes. My God. Kyle Yamamoto, probably a really nice young man, doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the friggin' top 6 on this team. Nowhere near it. I don't care if you tell me he's good at retrieving pucks. Everybody on the team should be good at retrieving pucks. If it's not, that's a coaching problem or a management problem. One of the two. If the coaches are coaching the right way and they still can't do it, it's a management problem because management needs to get rid of the players. That means trading Draisaitl or McDavid because they won't play that way. Do it. I mean, I'm not saying do it now, but I'm saying nobody's exempt from playoff hockey being played in the regular season. And until the Oilers learn how to do that, it doesn't matter if they're losing 5 or 6 in a row or if they're winning 5 or 6 in a row. Doesn't matter. I have no hope for them to win in the playoffs until they start learning this. So far, they have not shown they've learned it. So that's my thought on what's really wrong with the Edmonton Oilers. It's playoff hockey not being played when it matters most right now. It matters most right now because now is the time when you learn to play playoff hockey. Until that team is being forced to do so and takes it upon themselves to do so, they're going to be just an exciting team in the regular season who peters out in the playoffs every year and never win anything. And I think their fans deserve more than that. Sure hope the players give it to them. For Meixsell Gaming, we're more than just gaming. My name is Dredd. This has been Sports Talk with Dredd. What's really wrong with the Edmonton Oilers? Thank you guys so much. Peace out.